Welcome to the King Joe Show. The Indiana Fever just lost again. This time to a Connecticut Sun team that was winless before this game. The final score was 85-83, and yes, this was the Fever's second straight loss without Caitlin Clark, who's still nursing the left quad strain. Man, let's talk about this game. Let's get to it. It's King Joe. Let's go.
Took some overtime to get the time right. Had to lose a little mind to get my mind right. Finally realized, but in hindsight, you wanted the limelight. Me priority never once. You kept close but never really wasn't. I accept your lack of focus. Agree with all your choices. Needed you to need me. Needed you to see me. Until I found the right direction, I think my reflection would agree. Had to find the me in me.
The Short Sport by King David Jordan.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Joe. Listen, let's go ahead and thank you so much for joining the King Joe Show. Please, we're on our way trying to get our numbers up. Listen, a lot of you guys that are watching the show are not subscribing. Please hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. We're on our way to 2,000, on our way to trying to get to 10,000 before the end of the year. And it would be so great if you would be a part of the kingdom and become a kingdom citizen by hitting that subscribe button and hitting that notification bell. All right, I am your host, King David Jordan. Yes, that's my government. Okay. Now, we're talking about what happened, to the Fever. The Fever loses 85-83, and even with a late push, the Fever couldn't get it done. And it bears the question, is this team completely lost without one Caitlin Elizabeth Clark? Or are they just being exposed for the lack of depth and leadership? See, what they've been thinking that happened in the offseason was we had what we thought was an upgraded coach with from Christy Size to Stephanie White. And so far throughout the season, when we're getting it, we're looking at everything through the season. Now that we have a losing record 2-3, 2-4, now we're starting to question whether that was a good decision or not. Now we're starting to question whether or not bringing DeWanna Bonner, bringing Howard, who played well, Natasha Howard, who played well, and Sydney Colston, all of those upper 30s, 37, 33, 32 respectively, all those upper 30s, we brought them into our team in hopes to give us experience and championship experience. But what we've seen so far, and I said it last video, if you have not checked, make sure you guys check my last video. Go down. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. The last video, we talked about the fact that this team has a conflict, and the conflict is kind of a battle between the old and the new. Run, or slow it down and half-court offense. Yes, we saw DeWanna Bonner come back with another strong game. She had 21 last game, and then against Washington tonight, she had 13, especially in the fourth quarter. She hit some unbelievable shots. What we have to watch the situation is DeWanna Bonner is better when we slow the game down. DeWanna Bonner is fantastic when we slow the game down. But then if we look at everything that's going on too with Indiana, but the problem with that is when you slow the game down, you take out the key cogs, the big three. Now we already were missing Caitlin, who's out with a leg injury, who's going to be out probably another week and a half, hopefully. They said no longer than a month. But, with the quad injury, we're already missing Caitlin. So that's, who was our engineer in chief. She is the engine that pulls the locomotive. She is the person that makes this thing tick. And anybody on social media, anybody in sports media, if you sit there and say Caitlin Clark is not an MVP candidate, Caitlin Clark is not her, you don't know basketball. Or you have an agenda. Can we just start there? You have an agenda. Because these last two games, we played the bottom of the barrel. We played Connecticut, winless. We played Washington, our bottom tier team, rebuilding. Both rebuilding teams. We played both of them, and we got 2 losses. Real talk. In both games, the Fever were on the cusp of being blown out. A late surge. I was so upset with Christy, I was about to call her Christy Size. I was so upset with Stephanie White and the other game because we was down by 10, 13 points, and she was calling timeouts with 42 seconds left. And I was like, man, the game's over. That little run we went where we got it to 7 to make it legible, that was all window dressing. That's all. And even tonight, we were down by 13 with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. The one comes in and just hits a couple of threes, cut it down. We get a stop. Kelsey Mitchell hits a layup. We go back down, and that bad girl, and I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark this time, that bad girl, none other than Miss Marina Mabry, had been going to work, and she just took it to slow. She took her time, got the offense set up, and went and just hit a smooth jumper. Then they had the rookie come and hit it. She hit 1-and-1 free throw to give a 2-point lead. 26, 5-5 for Marina Mabry, 59% shooting tonight, and to win the 85-83 win over the Indiana Fever, giving her team the first win of the season. And I remember sitting and I told I said, listen, if Marina Mabry watch a couple go down, it's over with. It's gonna be a bad game. But what we saw was from Connecticut was a young team that made many mistakes. I mean, a whole heap of mistakes. And when you watch this game and you look at it, and you look at the numbers, Tina Charles kept Indiana in the game. Now, Tina Charles scored 18 points. She had 3 assists and 2 rebounds, but she also had a lot of turnovers. That was one of the, I was like, dog, no wonder they lost every game. But guess what? Guess who also had a lot of turnovers? The Fever. Our offense could not, we couldn't hold on the ball for anything. We turned on the ball more these last couple of games. Everybody talked about last year, Caitlin Clark was a turnover machine. Oh, my God. We can't even get in our offense. Right? We can barely run our offense. We came out, Lexi Hall hit a jump. I said, okay, all right, I see you says let's. But then from there, it was just discombobulated the whole game. And this really looked like a WNBA game. If you really think about it, this looked all the way like a WNBA game. And every time we would make a mistake, you had Marina Mabry and the Connecticut Sun make us pay for those mistakes. And like I said, right now, it seems like our team, the reason why our team is so discombobulated is because, like I said earlier in the show, it's a battle between 2 identities. You got one identity that wants to run with the big 3, where you have Kelsey Mitchell, you have Aaliyah Boston, and you have Caitlin Clark. But then you got the older ones with also Lexi Hall. But then you have the old guard, the older identity with DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and Natasha Howard, who play better at a slow-down pace half-court offense. Now, they tried to Natasha Howard being the point forward thing, too, and she had a couple of turnovers, too. But it's an identity, and this goes back to not just Stephanie White, but this goes back to the Fever front office. This goes all the way back to the Fever front office, because these are moves that the Fever GM made. Amber Cox. This goes on, a lot of people say it's Stephanie White. No. This goes to Amber Cox because Amber Cox made the decision to fire Christy Size, which I'm not mad at. And she made the decision to bring in Stephanie White. And we all thought it was an upgrade. And now we're kind of thinking a little bit differently. These last 2 games where we need some schemes and we need some X's and O's to get us through and some good rotations to get us through these games have been little involved. And the problem is this. Now, with Sophia Cunningham being out and Colston being out and Caitlin being out, you have an issue where you don't have any ball handlers. That made Lindsey Hoyle the primary ball handler, her and Kelsey Mitchell. And we all know Kelsey Mitchell plays better off the ball because last year, what was our big thing with Kelsey Mitchell last year? She doesn't pass. She's trying to get a shot. So we're all sitting there saying, okay, what are some of the plays that we run? What are some of the things that we can do to get in your offense? Now is, people are going to try to give a break, and Stephanie White is trying to say, oh, we got these injuries. But before these injuries, Stephanie White, we were struggling. Without Caitlin Clark, we were struggling. With Caitlin Clark, we was questioning some of your coaching decisions with Caitlin Clark. Why they wasn't running so much. Why they're playing such a slow down basketball. And what it shows and what these last couple of games have shown is that when you have players like DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, Colson, Sophie Cunningham, they prefer a slower paced game. They prefer a slow paced game. And when you're running up and down the court, Caitlin was dealing with a little leg injury before. But when you're running up and down the court and you're in your 30s, injuries start to happen. Because you're playing at a higher speed than your body's used to. And what I'm saying is this, Stephanie White is going to have to make a decision. The only real consistent since Caitlin's been out has been Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston has been a godsend, but the problem with Aaliyah Boston is she plays down low. And man, the referees in the WNBA don't know how to ref bigs at all. 0%. They're clueless. They don't know how to ref regular players. They don't know how to ref the game. Nevertheless, particularly bigs. So this is a situation where now Aaliyah Boston, who's kind of being a chameleon. Tonight they had her posting up one-on-one back towards the basket. When she's with Caitlin, they're running the pick and roll or the high screening roll, which no one else on the team seems to be able to do but Caitlin Clark. So it's a myriad of issues that's plaguing the Indiana Fever. And my question to you guys is, can they turn it around? Are they still championship contenders, or are they really pretenders? What we do know is Caitlin Clark is her. She's her. Top 5 player in the WNBA, probably top 2 or 3 is CC. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this game. What do you think what's going on with Coach Stephanie Wright? Listen, hit that like and subscribe. It's your boy KD. Listen, go for your goals. Always go for your goals. Don't never stop. You know why? Because success is going to look phenomenal. And I mean phenomenal on you. We'll holler at you soon. Peace.